Alrighty, welcome to episode 252 of Tokwa's Ask Us Anything. As usual, it's been a pretty busy news week. Elon Musk has announced the imminent launch of his Terafab project, which is expected to occur this Sunday morning, Perth time. Tesla has released its 6-seat stretched Model Y L Premium, which is now available to order with a drive-away cost from $82,817 in Western Australia. First deliveries are expected to start in May or June. And that was this week's news. Indeed it was, and once again, welcome to the program. Alrighty, as is customary, if there is anyone who is new and is comfortable in doing so, please unmute and say hello. Or perhaps a little bit later on. Alrighty, so who would like to open with a question or comment?
While Charles is in the room, I noticed he got a was referenced in some news article the other day. Can't remember where it was.
Oh, there's Chuck. Yes, yeah, Chuck.
From the
What?
future.
How did you? How did? Why were you spreading
Misinformation.
dodgy information? Given that I
Well,
already know the answer to that question, but you go and answer it for us all.
That's right. Yeah, so basically, I found a story about a new service center, a new highway service centre being built just outside of Mackay in Queensland. It was going to have, quick service restaurants, service station, camping ground, that sort of thing. And in the service station, there were EV chargers, and I thought, oh, that's cool. So I looked up the website, posted a little thing online. There was no particular brand attached to the chargers or anything like that. And yeah, so I posted that on X. And the next thing I know, there was a story on The Driven about it being a Tesla supercharger.
By trusty Riz actor
That's right. Yep.
who basically did a classic. He turned 5 words into 1,000 lines
That's it.
of presumption, because we
Yep.
all know it's not going to be Tesla. Because I mean, Tesla don't even do 25 stalls. It's just,
Yeah.
and they've already got a supercharger not that far away in Mackay anyway.
Yeah.
And that company that's doing it is called Roadport, I think they're
Roadport.
called.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I presume they're a little bit like OTR and other conglomerates where they specialize in doing large petrol station service area sort of
Yeah.
conglomerates. We got restaurants and blah blah blah, lots of services.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got a bit of detail on the website. I think this is the first site like this they've planned, but they intend to do it up and down the Queensland and Western and Queensland and Northern Territory highways. I think they said.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
even indicated uh, on a video that was playing on their website that they're going to do national sites around, and they kind of ambitiously showed, well, Highway One and
Yeah.
others, and sort of claimed. I think one was in northern WA, which is interesting. But a
Okay.
lot of this stuff is aspirational. Yeah, have a
Yeah.
look at their website, Chuck, and you'll see the video, which has a few yellow dots all over the joint.
Yes, and it also there's also a video on the website. It's a bit of a render. It shows a few examples, and there's a Cybertruck on one of the videos too. So I
Oh,
think
there you go. There's a hot tip. Hey, Riz, if you're
they're looking
watching,
ahead.
yeah,
They're looking ahead. Yeah, that's right.
yes, that's right. Cybertruck has been confirmed, Riz. Didn't you know
Yeah.
it? Just look at that website.
Yeah, so when I saw the article on The Driven, I pinged Riz and said, it's you might want to correct this. It's not Tesla, but I think he was overseas at the time and he didn't get the response. And before I knew it, Teslarati had an article about it, and Sawyer Merritt tweeted about it,
Oh, of course
and
he did.
yeah,
Breaking.
yeah, of
Tesla's
course,
biggest supercharger in Australia. Not.
that's it. Yeah, so every time I saw it, I said, it's not Tesla, so don't worry about it. But yeah, they they just thought, oh no, it's better to get the clicks and be wrong than to actually have correct info out there. Hey,
That's right. So I did like your reply where you said on my original post, I think you quoted your post or
yeah,
referred to it.
yeah,
At no point in this post did I mention Tesla. And I
yes,
thought that was very concise and precise.
yeah, yeah, that's right. So I mean, who knows how long until this company builds this, if it does, and when it does, who knows how big the charging station will be to start with. But at least they're looking forward to the future, so that's a good that's a
Yeah.
good sign. And they also, it's also going to have like a truck depot, but I didn't see anything about truck chargers. But that's the kind of thing I suppose in the future we should be pushing towards, I guess.
Yeah. And the thing is, in Australia, there is no truck charging standard per se, and CCS is already considered an acceptable truck charging charger or
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
So your what are they called? The Cybertruck clone, sorry, the semi clones from China.
Windrose.
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 Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're just using CCS at
yeah,
this stage. So
yeah. I think
I think they have an MCS on one side. They were showing the megawatt charger on a Windrose video in comparison with having dual CCS chargers. So having
okay.
$1 each way on that.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had dual CCS chargers.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think this the standard is the megawatt charging standard allows the vehicles to also have a different DC port. So I suppose that's for backwards compatibility. So the Tesla ones in North America would have a NACS, the ones here would have CCS2, and so on.
Yeah, so MCS is really just CCS on steroids. It's
Yeah,
the mega charger the charging system
yeah,
is just a superset of CCS. It's just more DC current.
yeah,
But every other aspect, I am dead certain, is exactly the same. The communications protocol is the same.
yeah.
So
It's by the
I
same
dare,
organization. So yeah,
yes, yeah, and I dare say you could probably have an adapter, a physical adapter that goes from from
yeah,
CCS to MCS, because it's a little bit like you can plug a 10 amp plug into a 15 amp socket because
yeah,
it's less power, so it's
yeah.
okay. Very good.
That's it.
Well, actually, since you're here, Chuck, any other news on the supercharger or generally charging front
Um,
from?
I think I think we ended the year last year with I think a big run of about 14 superchargers over the last 6 weeks, and and at that point, by 31st of December, there wasn't a single one under construction in the country. So now
Yeah,
I think
right.
we're up to 5. So there's
Yes,
5 in
including
progress.
Osborne Park.
Yep, yep.
Definitely know that. And in fact, I'm just looking. Uh, no. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Unfortunately, Mark and Shell, they're asleep now because they're leaving for a lap of well, what may be a lap, could be a lap of Australia tomorrow. Um, and I was going to get them to check on Southern Cross to see if there's any construction happening there, or
Oh, okay.
Meriden for that matter.
All right. Okay.
Oh, we don't know. I mean, obviously, Osborne Park is in progress. It looks like they're going to do a situation where you've got a bay either side, and you got your two supercharger stalls in between, so
Yeah.
that if you
Yeah.
park forwards, you can use one side or you could reverse depending
Yeah.
or whatever. So I
Yeah.
think that's what they're doing.
Like at Geelong, I think is like that.
Yes, Geelong is like
Geelong.
that,
Yeah. Yep.
except actually, no, sorry, no. Geelong is drive through.
Oh, okay.
Whereas these are just drive-in bays, they're not
Oh,
through
yeah.
bays. So it's like half of Geelong.
Yes.
I think it's intended because one problem which occurred, actually Pete's in the room, occurred in Busselton was there was a non-Tesla EV and they picked a bay which meant that they blocked out two superchargers. The one they were using, which was the one next door,
Yeah.
and the bay the bay they were in, which prevented a Tesla from using that stall. So basically, one non-Tesla EV took up a third of Bustleton's capacity.
for
Just-
for about 40 minutes, and the
After-
person that I
At 100% after
At
being fully
100%.
charged.
after being fully charged, yeah.
So they should have paid really for 2 lots of idle fee. But
Yeah.
Tesla doesn't have, AI cameras on the site, so it can't.
That's right. Oh well, that happens.
Yeah, cool. So there's really nothing else. There's no news on the Darwin supercharger.
No.
I think everything else is pretty stable. They're just ticking along.
Yeah, I think the other sites. There's one in Western Melbourne. There's one in the Hunter Valley. There's one between Brisbane and Toowoomba. I can't think where the other one is. There is another one there somewhere though.
I'll just bring up the supercharger voting actually, because what's really heartening to see. Charging, and we'll go supercharger voting. It's very, very heartening.
That one
2
between
seconds.
Toowoomba and Brisbane is Hellerton Spa.
Hellerton, that's what it was. I knew the names, but I wasn't sure how they're all pronounced. Well, always fun with Australian place names.
It sure is. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's perfect. Sorry, 2 seconds. Just got to zoom in. Okay. So, once this computer... Oh, we've got a perfect tie. 293 each way for Norseman and Sejuna.
That's funny.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
look, thankfully, it's miles in front of everywhere else.
Yeah,
So everything else is also ran. And, to be perfectly honest, doesn't matter which state, whether you lived in WA or South Australia, either Sejuna or Norseman is equally good, because what it does, in fact, you could almost no, it's so close, because at the moment the last known supercharger is Southern Cross in WA, and there's a fair old gap between it and Norseman, but critically between Port Augusta and Sejuna, that is, I can't remember, 800 k's or no, maybe 700.
474 kilometres.
yeah.
Say
Is it?
again.
470 kilometres between
470.
Sejuna and Port Augusta.
Right, which
So that's
If
probably one halfway sort of stop.
I can actually tell you, because I've got a spreadsheet that will tell you. Okay, this one here. So between Sejuna, so that will be Sejuna there, 470 to Port Augusta. So you're going to put one at Woodner and at Kimber.
Yeah.
Because then you've got 211 k's to Woodner from Sejuna, 103 to Kimber, and 156 to Port Augusta. So that's exactly what you do. So really, in fact, it would be awesome if they were both neck and neck, and they already are almost double any other charger, which just gives Tesla a very clear message.
Yes.
Please complete the Nullarbor, because it's important.
Yep.
So, so that'd be awesome. Now, obviously, if they do Norseman, then they've got to do Kalgoorlie, which is great because they got Southern Cross. And if they're going to do Sejuna, they're going to have to do Woodner and Kimber, which again is a great achievement.
Yep.
So we all win. In essence, it's just one string of pearls. It doesn't matter which way the string starts. You just got to close the gap.
Yep. I mean, when they did the Trans-Canada Highway, which was about 4 or 5 years ago now, they had done a small number in the west and a small number in the east, and then suddenly about 20 grey markers appeared on the map, and they built the whole thing out in about 6 months.
Trans-Canadian Highway. Paul, I'll throw to you if it's charge related, and then I'll just go on.
Oh no!
Or is there something else? Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, you can wait. No, that's cool.
But I'm like, nah, fuck it. vote for a WA. Fuck the rest.
No, stop it. No, I was magnanimous,
I know.
and I
I am.
literally,
I know. I'm just messing.
I used 2 votes, one for initially
I
one
did both.
for Norseman
So,
and one for a place in New Zealand.
yes.
It's on the South Island. I can't remember what it was now, but anyway,
Was it Greymouth?
yeah, it might have been actually.
Greymouth on the West Coast?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, that'd be good because that's the West Coasters. Yeah, they're the coasters, and that'd be a good spot.
Yeah.
But I then decided, because I got Joel Sapp that actually voted for most of WA stuff. He's our American friend who used to be with Talking Tesla. And I thought, oh, stuff it, I'll also vote for Sejuna because I got to walk the talk, and it really doesn't matter which one because we all win.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of that was winners, let's talk about losers because what actually happened in the news at the end, it was about Thursday or Friday last week, was that it was reported that Chris
NRMA?
Bowen
yeah.
conceded that the 117 site national, actually let's just bring up a modified version of the plan.
Yeah.
Well, it's not modified, it's been marked up. And that was known as Building the National EV Backbone, Helping to Connect Communities in partnership with the federal government. The NRMA is on track to build a vital EV charging network to support everyone on electric journeys across the country. So, originally all of these dots were green, and these are planned sites with federal partnership contribution. There were 117 of them. Then I basically filled in most of the important ones that the NRMA have done in red. So you can see you've got, this is Manjimup, this is Cataby, and that's all there is in WA. They've put one in Border Village, Nullarbor, and they are about, and Peter Ship, I need to ask you to please send me those photos. They actually, on their website, they show as under construction, and Peter, courtesy of Peter Ship, he's confirmed that it's very much under construction at Sejuna. And then you've got Adelaide River, Catherine, Mataranka, Three Ways, Alice Springs, Eldunda, Yalara, which is Uluru, Ayers Rock.
Yeah.
And then you've got a few other minor bits. And they've also got Mount Isa under construction, which I have to take their word for it. Haven't seen it optically yet. Now, what's more important is there are black spots. Now, these are places where there are no even crappy DC charges. And that's at...
Harold, is this is the NRMA, and are you going around completing them?
Sorry, Cameron, what do you mean?
Oh, there's one there you're missing. On the,
There's probably lots. There's probably lots that I'm missing that the NRMA has done. But what I'm doing is I'm highlighting. So, for example, you've got Mount Isa.
Yeah,
then
well,
you've got. You're going.
Yeah,
Go, Cameron.
the
What is
green
it?
dot to the left of Roma, you can mark that one as red if you like.
Yeah, where is that? Is that this one?
Just down,
That one?
and then left one.
That one.
That one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's my bad. I missed that one out.
That's Morven.
But right. Oh yes. Okay. Yes. But I guess I could say, and I'm trying not to swear, so I'm gonna have to bite my tongue very firmly. It matters not, because where's this one? Where's this one? Where's this one? This one.
Yeah,
this
they
one,
haven't-
this one. This
haven't
one. This
done
one.
them
This
ones.
one. This one. This one. This one. This one. This one. Where is that? I'm gonna have a conniption in a minute, and I'm going to go incandescent with rage because the Honourable Minister Bowen, 3 years ago, this coming 26th of April, gleefully announced we have a nation-building national electric vehicle charging highway with all these dots. And basically what the NRMA has done is what any private organisation would do, which is let's just do the low-hanging fruit on the eastern seaboard, and let's just do the easy stuff, and everyone else can get stuffed officially. So Minister Bowen has officially admitted that this project has failed. And there were 3 scenarios, and I can't remember what the first one was. The second one was hoping that private industry would simply do everything else in time. Or he said, maybe we might put some more funding for some of the black spots. So here they are. And like I said, this is Timber Creek, Victoria River Roadhouse, Birdham / Daily Waters Pub, Elliot. I don't really know what this one is. You don't really need that one. That's Barclay Homestead. That's Avon Downs or Sudan Station. Sorry, Avon Police Station, Camberwell, and there's a Marla, and that's Colgara, Glendambo. And this one is like say Nundroo, something like that. And this is Sejuna. So it's funny. For someone who's been round the joint a few times, there was a time when doing a lap in an EV was pretty slow because it was just AC everywhere outside of the eastern seaboard. So from, let's call it Brisbane to Adelaide, it was outside of that, it was effectively just AC. And there was a little bit of Queensland Electric Highway up to Townsville, but nothing anywhere else. Pretty much. And once you got north of Adelaide, the last thing was the supercharger at Clare, in the Clare Valley outside of Adelaide. And a lap took a long time because everything was AC and that was just the way it was. But all the AC was reliable and it worked. And you just knew it was going to take a long time, but you knew roughly how long it was going to take. Then there was a period where the Queensland Electric Highway filled in all of these dots here with charges. And as we speak now, Mount Isa is on its last legs. Cloncurry doesn't work and never will be repaired. Julia Creek is on its last legs. Richmond doesn't work and will never be repaired. Hewenden doesn't work and will never be repaired. And Charters Towers is on its last legs. And after that, we don't care because there's superchargers all the way around to Port Augusta. So there was a period where it was really sucky but predictable. Then there was a period where there was this sort of new sort of awakening of DC chargers being put in that all worked, and that was awesome. And that was like, wow, it's going to keep getting better and better. But we're now into this and the WAV network was going to be yet another exemplar of having all of these dots basically filled in, and they all basically are, except that anything that touches Horizon Power, with very few exceptions, is either broken, underpowered, or liable to lose power at any moment. And a comment I heard from someone from Horizon Power was, oh, well, the last time the circuit breaker popped, it only took us 4 days to reset it. Which is cool. You're in an EV, you're at Balladonia, and you go, oh, this charger's not powered. Oh, well, the last time it only took 4 days. So I've obviously got 4 days worth of water. And, I can just, I'll just sit here for 4 days, perhaps. It might be 5. Maybe it's 3 if I'm lucky. It's just not good enough. They've done the classic in WA, and the NRMA has, as did Eureka in Queensland, which was install the charger, plant a flag, declare victory, and walk off. And unsurprisingly, entropy increases, and the chargers decay and stop working. And no one thinks that's not okay. Yeah. For the powers that be. The federal government doesn't think that's not okay. The Queensland government doesn't think that's not okay. The West Australian government doesn't think that's not okay. it's really difficult when people say, "Hey, I want to do a lap of Australia. What do you reckon?" And I'm going, "Yeah, congratulations. In 2026, you are still driving around like a pioneer." Where please don't book everything in advance. Just book one day at a time. And even then you might be expected to, like, rather than arriving at 5 p.m, you might get there at 11 if you're lucky. Or maybe you just do your $200 and sleep somewhere else or in your car. It's appalling.
Just on the photos, Harold, I did send those the day I spoke to you. I'll resend them again tomorrow. So
yeah, no worries, Peter. No, it's all good. No, it's all good. I just but it's great that the NRA has done Ceduna, so that's something. But let's face it, that's the low-hanging fruit. Ceduna is already well serviced, whereas Tea Tree, Davenport, Elliot, Birdham / Daly Waters pub, Victoria River Roadhouse, Timber Creek, Barclay Homestead, Camberwell, and others, Marla, Glendambo, aren't served by anything. Sorry, any DC, which is in 2026 when there are hundreds of thousands of EVs in Australia, and we have federal and state politicians saying EVs are the answer and we have the solution to charging. What can you say?
Just on that, I'm in Millicent at the moment, and there's two really good new RAC ones here. And this is a little tiny
RAA.
Sorry, RAA. Yes, that's correct. Yep. They look good. I obviously haven't used them, but they looking good. So South Australia seems to be doing some good work.
Yeah, I mean, having said that, unfortunately, Coober Pedy, the Kempower at Coober Pedy is vandalised beyond service. So, which is all it takes is to smash the touchscreen. So they might have to do a Halls Creek solution, which is put an aluminium plate across the touchscreen and just use the app instead. But, Anyway, enough of that downer stuff. Let's get on some better things. Paul, what have you got a question or comment?
I did have a comment, but I think Richard Cooper's asleep.
He is. I've lulled him off to sleep. It's the dulcet tones.
I wanted to ask him about his background. Like, Richard, wake up.
It's a Model Y Juniper and
is it a performance or?
No, I think no, it's definitely not. No, it's a I think it might be a launch edition.
Oh, okay. No worries.
So so we should get into some sort of happier news, which is that the stretched Model Y L Premium is now able to be ordered. So it's in base trim, it's $82,817, and you've got lots of different colors. You've got the relatively new Glacier Blue, and you've got the brand new Cosmic Silver, and then you've got the option of the all black interior, or you can have Zen Grey, which I would call pre-stained white. Which is good. Like it's already been pre-stained, so that's pretty good. And you can still get FSD, and if you order any Tesla in Australia up until the 31st of March, and you have another car, an older Tesla that has FSD, they will still allow you to transfer it when the new car arrives, provided you place the order by the end of this month. But it doesn't matter when you receive the car. It can be in May or June, which is when the Model Y L is expected to be delivered.
Harold, I think they've absolutely hit the nail on the head with the Model Y L. I think the pricing is spot on. The range is fantastic. The new options, the new color, both interior, exterior is great. You still keep the sub boot. You can fold the third row flat if you need to, as you can with the second row. You've got vehicle to load. You've got those thigh extenders on the seats. I just think, it does 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. I mean, I just think they've really done well with all the options. I just think it's going to be a great selling vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Did you order one?
I've got one
Did
number.
anyone order one?
I've got one number that might give a clue. It's 681, which is the claimed WLTP range. Now that I know is fictitious. Sorry, it's not. Driving around Perth on the freeway in traffic, you can absolutely get 681 Ks out of it. But the main point is that, for instance, my launch edition Model Y, new Model Y, had a claimed range of 554 kilometres. A few months later, they brought out an improved battery pack version of the same car, non-launch edition, with a claimed WLTP of 600 kilometres. But now the Model YL, because it's got something like about an 88 kilowatt hour pack, plus its coefficient of drag is slightly slipperier than the standard refreshed Model Y. I'm just a range floozy. Give me more range, and it's going to make a great lap car. It's going to do some pretty sweet laps, especially in the big gaps. So yeah, I did, Paul. I ordered one. So
What
anywho,
colour?
same glacier blue.
Glacier blue. Yep.
Glacier blue. So no one will notice. From the front, you'll barely notice a difference, except initially my car will have less stone chips.
With the grey interior?
Yes, the Zen, let's call it the off-white.
Righto.
Yeah, the off-white. Absolutely. Yes.
Cool.
And then I'll do a FSD transfer, which I can tell that tortured story maybe later if we've got time, or maybe another time. But yeah,
Richard's away.
did anyone else buy or order a Model YL? Looking at you, Pete.
Did you get FSD or transfer?
Yes, he did.
You transfer or you just bought another car? Another car. Jeez. Thanks for helping my shares, buddy.
Anytime, Paul.
It's a Peter Petrosky-led recovery of the EV market.
I've got a question, which
Yes, Stefan.
it's a technical question, really. I've got a problem at the moment with my Model Y, and that is that it won't charge anymore.
Oh, that's a Tesla question.
You're going. So, Stefan, when you say won't charge, where won't it charge anymore?
Okay, the symptoms are you plug it in, the blue light goes on the car.
Sorry, to what, Stefan? Is it a mobile connector, or is it a wall connector, or is it a supercharger?
A wall charger.
Wall charger, yep.
Which I got with my first Tesla.
Yes, yep.
It's a wall charger, working fine. Anyway, so you plug it in, the blue light comes on the car, and eventually it changes to green. And you look at the wall charger, and the light is traveling down. And she's charging. That lasts about somewhere 5 to 6 minutes.
Yes.
Then the green light on the charger stops.
Yep.
If you had looked at your app on your phone, you would have seen that there are 0 amps flowing, and it's not charging at all.
Yep.
And then it stops charging, and that's it. And if you try and start the charger again, it says error. Charging error, cannot. Has anybody had this problem?
Well, yes and no, depends. I mean, different problems occur different times, but when you first plugged it in and the light went green, either sit in the car or look on your app and see if it was actually charging,
Yeah, well, everything indicates it's charging. You know the little line
Yes,
in
but
your
at
app.
that time, at that moment when the line was moving, was strobing,
Yeah,
if you sat in your car and you looked at the charge screen, was there any power going into the car? Because it'll tell you,
yeah, it
it'll
says
say,
zero. It says 0 amps, 0 kilometers per hour. It's not charging, right?
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That-
The next thing to try then is try and charge your car at another AC charger. Or do you have a
No.
mobile connector, the
Yes,
UMC?
I've got that, and I
Right,
tried
great.
that, and
Do
it's the
this.
same.
So try this, plug a UMC into a PowerPoint, plug it into your car, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly the same. It
So
looks
did you
as
say
if
the same
it's
thing
like-
happens?
The same thing happens. It looks
Okay.
as if it's charging, but
It's the
when you
car.
look at
Okay,
the actual
great.
charger you plugged
Yep.
in, it's
Next thing
zero.
to do, okay, open your Tesla app, go into service, request service,
Yeah.
select battery or charging as the issue, and just say plugged into 2 different AC chargers. Everything looks like it's working, but the car is not charging. Run that ticket. Tesla will then view that booking and schedule in a time for you to bring the car in. It's plausible that there might be a problem with the onboard charger. They'll simply replace it and job done.
Okay, so what I
They'll also give you a loan car if it takes more than, it probably will take a day or two, so they'll give you a loan car to sort you out.
I'm waiting for the call tomorrow. I have spoken to them, and I'm taking it tomorrow, I hope. But
Yeah.
there's an interesting thing. I looked into the plug, into the socket of the car where you plug in your charger, and there's about, I don't know, 6 or 7 pins there. And at
One's
the
shorter than the other.
One.
Deliberately. Please don't do what now is. He was here before. Where is he? I'm trying to find him.
Who?
Oh,
Shane?
Gandalf. Shane Parker. Yes, he is.
Hey.
Shane's here. I think it was Shane. I remember Shane ringing me.
I didn't do it. I thought about doing
didn't?
it, but I didn't do it.
And I remember telling you, no, don't get those
Yes.
pliers and pull the pin out because.
Exactly what I thought.
So
Yeah.
please, Stefan, don't pull that pin and make it as long as the one next to it or
I
on the
thought
other side.
I thought,
It's-
I've solved the problem. That's the problem. This pin is not contacting. I'm sure
No.
it has some
So-
purpose or whatever.
So this is a. Let me just spotlight myself. This is a the plastic surround. Let me put it in front of my head. Plastic surround that came from my Model X, and up on here.
Those two.
Sorry,
yeah.
there and there, those two. One is
Yeah.
shorter than the other. And in fact, this is actually marked. No, it's not marked, but one is called the Presence Pilot, which is the longer pin. And the other one is the Control Pilot, and that's shorter. And the reason why it's shorter is so that there are actually mechanical. When the car is charging, there's a little pin that drops, a plastic pin that drops to grab the cable, so that someone doesn't pull it apart while power is flowing. This is for AC or DC. So there's a mechanical lock, but the Control Pilot pin is deliberately short so that and that's the pin that the charger and the car communicate in both ways to keep power flowing. So deliberately what they do is cleverly, the pin in the Control Pilot is shorter than all the other pins, including the power pins, so that if you say, if the latching pin failed or broke or something and you started pulling this thing apart,
Yeah.
the car and the charger would get the signal or lack of signal to say stop pulling power or drawing power or giving power before the actual power pin separated, so you don't get like an arc flash that occurs either AC or DC. So no.
Okay,
That-
that's
what you
good
see-
part,
what you
eh?
see looking
Because
down
I thought I'd found the fault. you
No,
see.
no,
Go there
definitely not.
tomorrow and say, hey, look, have you seen this? This might be the problem. Okay.
No. Well, no, and I'm sure they've heard that many times before. and that's okay because not everyone knows everything. I mean, that's it's knowledge is shared. So, but no, it won't be that. It's most likely an issue with the onboard charger. It's not a big deal. They'll simply replace it quickly.
In the meantime, Stefan, you can still charge on a DC charger. That should still work.
Yeah, they will probably still work, Stefan. So if you need charge, I know you're not quite close to a DC charger, but you can, if you needed it to get to Tesla, just go to a DC charger and just top up if you want to.
I've got 63%.
Oh,
I'll easily
tons.
get to O'Connor. It's no problem at all.
Yep.
And I just hope they've got a hire car, well, a car for me.
They will have a loan car. So when you get a phone call, say this is the symptoms. I think it's the onboard charger or whatever, and just say, hey, if I need to leave my car for an amount of time, can you please arrange for a loan car?
I've already started that up, and they're looking for one, and I just hope to find one because I need one on Friday. I've got to go to Beverly, so yeah. All right. Well, I just thought I'd bring that up and see if anybody had any experience with that.
Well, I'm glad you did because at least everyone's learned. If you look down the pins, don't be concerned that there's a shorter one. It's deliberate, and please don't threaten to do a Shane Parker and go, oh crikey, I might just put my needle nose pliers in there and give it a pull because maybe that might fix it.
It's quite funny because I actually thought of that. I can tell you.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes, because you're an engineer, and engineers go, I'm a problem solver. This doesn't look like the other one. So yes, let's please not pull on pins unless you're told to.
Right.
Okay, so
Stefan, there is actually a problem that sometimes pops up with that charge port though, and that is that the little pin at the top does stick. So eventually, I think mine stuck at about 150,000 Ks or something like that, and a lot of dirt roads. And it can get a bit sticky, which means that sometimes the charger doesn't quite release properly or it doesn't quite engage properly.
Oh, that pin, to stop. The one that locks.
The mechanical locking pin that Harold was talking about a moment ago.
Which there is a cable.
That doesn't work. If that thing doesn't engage properly, then the charge session won't start properly. Won't start either. So a little bit of lubricant on that, like silicone lubricant or something like that on that pin, fixes that, and away you go again.
Well, Stefan's car's nearly brand new. You got the Model Y.
It's only 1 year old,
Yeah. So
you got a few Ks to go yet then.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah.
Alrighty. Now we got Jay Sparrow, and I think Des, you were after. So whoever Jay Sparrow is, go for it.
It's me.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's Mike.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Mike.
All of us but Harold and Pete, we should bow to our famous compatriots, I suppose is the word, because Pete was on TV and Harold was in the paper this week.
Oh. Yeah, so Pete, tell us why are you trying to scaremonger saying, well, you know what, you might not even get any fuel at all. How did that work out? Like, did they say, hey, Pete, we want some good stuff to scare all these ice dinosaur juice burners, and what's the best little one-liner you can give us for a little sound bite?
Well, that one-liner that got the sound bite started off by me qualifying it and saying, how would I say? I said, not to be alarmist, or I said some might, or you could argue that it's alarmist. And then I said, with 34 days of supply, obviously logistics, trucking, first responders, aviation, military, all these sectors will be prioritised. So it's not inconceivable that 34 days supply might dwindle down to 1, 2 or 3 weeks as far as the public is concerned and as far as fuel at a petrol station is concerned. But I did qualify by saying, not to be alarmist, but that was edited out.
So did the editor go, yeah, oh, this is a juicy bit. Let's just zoom in on what really matters to the public, which I've actually got to go on.
If it means that 10 more people bought an EV, well, so be it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Let's put it that way.
No.
In fact, I'm going to get a great quote but I'll do this in a sec. Sorry, anyone wants to jump in?
Yeah, so just while you're doing that, Harold, so you were talking about the charges earlier, and I did see the way it was written in the paper, you had your little column of comments, and then somebody...
I didn't read it, so I don't know.
What, you mean you haven't got it pasted in your scrapbook already? Oh, dear me. Anyway, there was a whole bunch of comments relating to Horizon Power, I think, in the next column.
Quite
along.
impressive.
I see Pete's nodding his head, and I was thinking, wow, that's interesting. I'm sure Harold will have something to say about that, and I'll leave it at that, and Pete will send you the copy, no doubt.
Yeah, someone sent me a photo of it, but
Right.
look, I don't read mines. I don't watch this program. I don't read stuff because it's just not relevant. I mean, it's like
it just seemed to be almost, I won't say diametrically opposed, but completely different from what appears to be the physical evidence out there. That's all I was thinking. And I'm thinking, surely they've listened to a couple of these things before they actually write stuff in the newspaper.
That's why I don't read newspapers, because it's just
rubbish. Yes.
Especially if you're actively involved in something and you actually know the truth because you said it. Yes. I mean, I don't know how I was quoted. I mean, I didn't.
No, you're fine.
All I really said was words to the effect of, none of us in the EV community find any satisfaction or a gloating that there's a fuel crisis, because it really affects all of us. It affects farmers. It's look, not financial advice, but it's entirely plausible that this thing might go for a while, and in so doing could cause quite a lot of economic damage worldwide. That's almost kind of economics 101, and none of us, and actually Pete, I think it was Pete and I and maybe Rob Dean, we were having separate discussions. Maybe it was another mate of mine, that I think it's been bandied about that there's about 700 million litres of something, whether that's petrol or diesel or whatever. But let's just say it's just 700 million litres of fuel. Well, back of the envelope, 10 million cars. If for every car, the owner of that vehicle, so for every vehicle, the owner of that vehicle put aside 70 litres of fuel just in case, then there's your whole 34 days of reserve gone. And that's if they simply maintain normal behaviour, which is just keep burning petrol. So 10 million people or 10 million vehicle owners can suck up the entire reserve to zero by simply storing 1 week's worth of fuel.
Yep. The thing is, though, Harold, the problem is with planners, and I've worked with these guys in my former life, is it not foreseeable? That is a very powerful question, which none of them seem to take into account when they're doing their so-called risk assessments. I know, because I facilitated this stuff. They just don't consider. And every time we have an issue, whether it's toilet paper or peanut butter or whatever, this happens. And so they should have enough reserves to allow for that, because it is entirely foreseeable. Anybody with any brain would know that. But no, can't do that.
But the people
I'm a bit sarcastic
retarded.
about this stuff.
Sorry about that.
Anyway,
I didn't mean to have that go off then. I was going to send it off in a second.
That's brilliant.
So Mike, you're dead right. Like, it's a wicked problem because, for example, I mean, you've got Minister Bowen just being haplessly flailing around. The truth is, if the government got ahead of the curve and said, we know what's going to happen next, there's going to be panic buying, so we're going to restrict sales. Well, there's a guarantee for panic buying right there. They didn't say anything at the start, and people did their own panic buying anyway. Well, let's call it hedging, or let's call it, I don't care what everyone else does, I'm just going to get a little bit of spare for myself just in case. And I've had family members do exactly that. Storing 2 jerry cans worth of petrol in their garage just in case. And also because it was going to be expensive next week, so let's get some cheaper stuff and, whatever. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And of course, when it comes to people's, the general members of the public and trying to be logical, as Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh very eloquently said, if I can just get this into screen share.
But the people are retarded.
No,
You can't say
don't
that.
want to offend anyone, but it's
So true.
yes, Paul. I'm not going to disagree. We can't help ourselves.
No.
Come on, if we're going to be locked down for a week, I'm not going to use newspaper. I'm not going there.
You can't possibly run out of dunny paper. Well, Harold, you're saying that you had some friends that dashed off and bought themselves some jerry cans of fuel.
Relatives, not friends. That you can pick your
Relatives.
relatives. You can't choose your sorry. You can choose your friends. You can't choose your relatives.
Fair call. You can influence your relatives, though. My daughter went off and bought herself an EV.
Yes, and if you look, very good. So if you look on Tesla's website, there's almost nothing left of any kind, whether it's secondhand or inventory. It's all gone.
Unfortunately, she's not quite financial enough to afford a Tesla, but
No,
she
no.
went and bought an EV.
But nor should but everyone's buying EVs. So, Pete, I think what did you say? BYD.
Correct.
What are they?
Apparently, BYD up near my way, one of the dealerships, as far as their EV sales are concerned, they had doubled last week versus the week prior. So week on week, 100% increase in EV sales.
Yeah.
You can imagine all the what do you call them? The delivery drivers are all running out to get EVs because they're the ones who chew petrol.
Yeah, too right. Yep. I mean, Uber drivers have been saying that whereas they used to spend $600 a week, they're now spending only $100 a week on an EV.
Oh, good.
So in energy cost. So yeah, it's something I tried to tell the paper. I don't know if it came out in the article was, the best time to buy an EV is yesterday. And if you keep reiterating that, if you bought it yesterday, the best time to buy that was the day before yesterday. So it really, people shouldn't, even though you should never let, what's that saying? You should never let a crisis go to waste. It's a great political term. If it takes a crisis to get you to go over the line, well, all well and good, but you don't need a crisis anymore to buy an EV because there's literally no economic reason that you shouldn't buy one because the total cost of ownership, that ship's already sailed, that it's already cheaper to buy and own an EV over the course of its life.
Interesting, that was the main point that you, Harold, tried to get across for your article. That was the main point I try to get across in both of the two TV interviews. And I know Ant, who was on that Channel 10 story with me, that was the main point he tried to get across as well. And never in any of those, whether it was the paper or the TV, did that point come across. It was all, that was because the reporter actually literally asked me, she said, did you have anything else to add? I said, yes, the main point I'm trying to get across is that to buy an EV is a no-brainer, whether it is for the person buying, for the owner themselves personally, or whether it's for community in general or society in general. Buying EVs is a no-brainer. And, having a fuel crisis is maybe just that one little bit that makes the fence sitters now make decisions and those that have been looking at it for a while to make their decisions quicker. But you don't need a crisis, fuel crisis for EV sales. And EV sales have actually been going through the roof in February. Now, so like Tesla sales in Australia, February 26 versus February 25 were about 105% higher. So, doubling. So whether that was because some got ahead of the curve and they could see the ships starting to congregate in the Middle East, whether it was because the fringe benefits tax exemption is possibly going to be taken away in the May budget, or because it was just Tesla didn't deliver that many cars in February the year before, so there was that element there as well. Plus the natural growth in EVs, or a combination of all things. But yeah, we had huge increases in EV sales in February, and that was before the US launched strikes on Iran.
That's right, because those sales were mostly derived from orders placed a month or two earlier, mostly. But very good. Actually, Des, you got your hand. I'll go to you just in case you've got a different question or something.
It's going back to Stefan's issue with the charging. When I've had those sort of symptoms, it's been because I've had scheduled charging on, or I've put in the tariffs in. So in other words, I've now gone into the EV tariff, so it's 9 cents from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it'll charge then, but it'll stop at 3 when I'm in peak.
The only thing that wrinkles that is, I think Stefan was saying that the LEDs were strobing downwards, which is indicating that as far as the charger was concerned, it was delivering energy or offering energy.
Yeah, when you first plug your car in, it does that.
Oh, okay. For how long? Just a few seconds, or?
A few seconds, and then it stops.
Right.
And it goes into standby. And
because it might be tasting the grid to see what the power level is, so it knows what time to predict to do the shed. Yeah, okay. So Stefan, just do a check if you're still there.
Yeah.
Check that you've got no scheduled charging that might have been inadvertently selected, which could be replicating the symptom.
Yeah, but I don't think I've changed anything on that.
No, but just have a look, just in case there might have been a glitch.
But I do have those 4 zones. You know, my meter is one of the modern meters now. So
it's not the meter. No, it's not the meter. It's in the app. You can do scheduled charging, and that could actually block your charging. So just check that, Stefan.
Yeah, I've never used the scheduled charging.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's a glitch and somehow it's appeared at random.
Yeah,
because sometimes car profiles can change spontaneously.
There's only one strange thing I had on my app, and that was when you go. I've also got Tesla Powerwall, and that seems to work together with the car. And
charge on solar as well.
Somewhere at the bottom where it says paired, it says unrecognized paired vehicle. And there was some number, which each car, I suppose, has a long number. And it says unrecognized paired. And I deleted because at the back in red, it said delete or something like that. And I took it away, and that didn't make any difference. And as for the scheduling, it happens all day. I've tried it various times of the day, and it never works, you know. So
just also check, Stefan, that you don't have charge on solar set on your Powerwall.
No, I've tried that. It's been on charge on solar, and I've taken that off. And it doesn't make any difference. And even when there is enough solar, it won't charge either.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Look, Stefan, try one more thing. Just have a look have you got your phone there? Have a look on your app and have a look where your maximum charge level is set to.
Or the maximum charge level. Yeah. I know that's set at just a minute. That's only set at 12 amps or something. 12.
No. Sorry. I mean, you know how there's the slider. You know how you can move the slider around between 50% and 100%.
Yeah.
So what percentage is it on?
Oh, that's on. That's only on. Just a minute. that's only on about well, I set it to 100% maximum, but of course the other one when it's set to 40%, so it'll charge.
It can't be set to 40%. 50% is the minimum. It won't let you go below 50%.
Well, it's been at 40% for a long time and it's worked. Because 40% is that it will take energy from any source,
Yes.
right, from the grid. And if over 40%, you can set it to on solar excess solar.
Sorry, that's your Powerwall. I mean your actual car. So you know how there's the slider that where you set your maximum charge level. So you can go between 50% and 100%. So below the rendering of your car, below the picture of the car,
Yes.
you'll see that slider.
It says charge limit 100% because
so that's fine.
No, that's fine.
It's 100% and it's only got and the charge current is set to 16 amps.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So yeah.
No, we'll see what happens, Stefan. It's either your onboard charger, or some weirdness. But I must admit, and notwithstanding Des, I get it that for a few seconds it'll taste the grid or it'll taste the charging effort to see. But look, it's plausible that it might just be a onboard charger fault.
Sounds like something else because it's been through everything I'd go through.
Yeah, but it's still good information because, I must admit, I've turned up to a DC charger and gone, why has it gone fault? And it's like I'd forgotten that my car was at, say, 85%, and my normal, and I've got a long range car, so you normally set it to 80. And when you plug a Tesla whose battery is higher than the desired charge level into a DC charger, it ends up just faulting. It doesn't sort of say, look, I don't really want juice right now, I'm okay. It actually generates a fault for the charger. Yeah. And that can mislead you and think, oh no, why isn't this charger not working? It's like, oh, I'm an idiot because I set my charge level below what my battery is at the moment. And that can get you, it can lead you down the garden path, at least momentarily, where you start second thinking yourself and
Well, when I was talking to the guy at O'Connor, the technician, because I said, look, you guys can look into my system because I remember once I had a bit of a problem with the air conditioning and I rang them up and he said, no, your air conditioning seems to be working all right. All the pressures are okay and everything. I said, how do you know that? Anyway, I realized that they can look into my car. Yep. So I said, well, if you can do that, have a look. And after a while, he rang me back and he said, yeah, there's a couple of things that don't make total sense. So, there obviously is a problem somewhere there.
Yeah. No, anyway, it'll get sorted. One way or another, they'll sort it. They'll certainly do their best to get you a loan car. And
I hope it's electric. That's the only thing. I hope they don't try and give me a non-electric.
You wouldn't. That's right.
Because otherwise I'd be pretty pissed off.
Oh, what you say is, look, I'm going to Beverly, mate. I don't even know if they've got petrol or whatever out there, so don't strand me twice.
Yeah. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
No worries. Excellent. All right. And in any case, we've got a lot of good background information about other things that could look like that, which is not your charger. So that's good for other people anyway, in general.
Yeah. Thanks.
The one time I have seen something similar to that was when the plug was really hot, or where the actual plug was in the sun, or had been. Sorry, more correctly, it had been in the sun.
Yeah.
And so when you plugged it in, it tasted the grid, as you say, and then it went, nah, I'm too hot. And the other one was a dodgy earth connection.
Oh yes. Richard Chapman, I know you're there, but can you come on and ask me a Dorothy Dixer? Oh, maybe you can. Hello, can you hear us? Oh, 10 minutes. Okay, yeah, cool. Come on in 10 minutes, Richard. That's cool. We'll save that for later. It's good. No worries.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah, good. All good. No, plenty of time, mate. We're here for another nearly an hour, so that's all good. Alrighty, so just circling back to buying a new Tesla at the moment, everyone should be, in fact, there was news tonight that I've forgotten that, Angela van der Leyen, I think that's right. I hope that's right. She is, I forget her role at the EU. Anyway, she's high up in the EU. Sorry, Angela, for forgetting exactly what your title is. She is coming to, I presume, Canberra to sign a free trade agreement between the EU and Australia. Now, I know from a few years ago, one of the preconditions of that was for Australia to remove its luxury car tax on vehicles. And the Europeans had stated that was a precondition. And it's plausible that that's what Australia is going to agree to, because let's face it, the luxury car tax was just a means of protectionism for Holden's for Holden, General Motors Holden, and Ford and Mitsubishi when they were around, and so it was for the local industry because they didn't want imported German and whatever luxury cars flooding the market at a discounted, albeit expensive price and whatever. So given that it has now been confirmed that there will be a free trade agreement with the EU, and it's very plausible, if not almost certain, that the luxury car tax will go, it makes the elimination of the fringe benefit tax concession for compliant EVs, its elimination, in my humble opinion, not financial advice, and looking at the way the weather is trending, all but certain that on budget night, that Treasurer Chalmers will hand that discount on any cars delivered after that date. But possibly because there wouldn't have been notice of this happening, and it would be quite unfair for someone to have ordered a car on a novated lease and it gets delivered the day after that it gets canned, there might be a very brief period that said, it might be the case that, hopefully, if you've already ordered a car up until budget night, you're in the system. But from budget night, if you order or enter into a new contract to buy a car, from that date, it'll be canned. So I'm just saying as a warning. So for those people who have ordered a car, just be aware that there's a slight risk, or there's a distinct risk that the numbers may change. So you might not be able to get the novated lease, or if you own a small business, might not be able to get that discount on the FBT if the car arrives after budget night. And no one knows, only the Treasurer knows what the rule will be. There is a precedent last year, plug-in hybrids had the 31st of March as the last day of delivery. However, that was in legislation, or there was an amendment that was made many, many months prior to say that was a sunset date. So perhaps on a budget night, there might be a slight leeway. But just as a warning, it's a little bit like, be aware that interest rates are increasing, make sure you can afford it. That again, you get the novated lease or whatever because the EV is the right thing for you, or a Tesla in our case is the right thing for us. But don't consider as written in stone that you'll be getting that discount after budget night. It's just a little PSA.
When is budget night again? Sorry, Harold.
12th of May. The 12th of May. And again, it's probably plausible that the stipulation might be for anyone that hasn't entered into a irrevocable contract to buy an EV by budget night, maybe all those orders and those deliveries will be ratified, and then anything. But if you went into a dealership the next day and said, "I want to buy an EV now," they'll say, "Sorry, you've missed out because it's after budget night when you place the originating order." Perhaps that's semi-plausible.
If that does happen, do you know what's really annoying? So the Boscap Group, which is the main parent company of OzEV, the importers of the F-150 Lightning and converters, went into liquidation yesterday. Yeah, I actually know the CEO of that, and he's built it from the ground up with one employee for 12 years, and it's pretty going. But anyway, so that. Anyway, sorry, I missed that where you were going to get me to ask a Dorothy Dixer. The boys' bedtime is 7:30, which is just when this kicks off. So I'm always lurking.
Yeah, no. So you were going to ask a question about some strange behaviour and something wasn't working.
Did you speak to Rob Dean earlier today?
Yes. So ask the question.
Right. No, I just want to make sure it was that. So
yes, it's that one.
Because I just happened to mention this particular thing, and he said, "Wait till the appropriate time towards the end and ask it." So we were in Kalbarri a couple of months ago, and we thought we'd break the journey up stopping in Geraldton for a couple of nights to the G'day Park there. When we were doing the check-in, I said to the very officious lady behind the counter, "What's your policy for EV charging?" And she looked me straight in the eye and said, "It's completely banned." And I'm like, "Okay, can I not pay you for it?" And she just looked at me with a look that said, "Go away." Anyway, but this is annoying because we're towing the camper trailer with the Model X. We're only getting 150 k's range, so we needed every bit of that range. So look, I have no problem. I'm more than willing to pay them more than what the WEV network charger is in Geraldton itself, which is brilliant. But the problem is, it's not a pull-through bay. So, if you've got the caravan camper trailer on the back, then, we have to unhitch it, which can take longer than the actual time that we need to charge just for that last 10%. So I thought, you know what, in the morning as I'm just doing the pack up, I'll just try it anyway. I'll just see if I can get that last 10%. As soon as I put it into the I had the power going into the camper trailer, and then I had the car plugged into that, it tripped the power. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So I thought, all right, well, I'll try just plugging it direct in.
Was it 10 amps? Was it 10 amps?
Oh, I think I probably no, it was it's a 16. It's a 15 amp socket on a 16 amp breaker. But I think I dialed it right down to 5 amps.
Oh, go on. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, and then I noticed that it's an RCBO. And I went, oh, okay, that's quite unusual. So, and then I thought, presumably when it does its ground continuity checks or something there, it, whatever part of that process of starting up, makes the RCBO trip. Which then, and Rob said, "Oh, well, get your opinion on that," and to make that almost a public service announcement to say, "Watch out for this."
So the question I thought was going to be posed was, why wasn't the mobile connector charging? And that would happen if anyone plugs a mobile connector, which is your little one in the little bag, we used to call it the universal mobile connector. If you plug it in and it doesn't charge and it brings up a red light on the charger, that's because it can't find continuity between the earth pin and neutral because it expects an MEN network. That's not the problem you had. You had the problem where it was tripping straight away. Sounds to me, did you try something like plug a kettle in instead?
We'd be running off that same socket in the caravan. We've got a full-size coffee maker. We've got everything. So, you know,
It wouldn't trip with the caravan, but it tripped on the car charger.
Correct. And I also tried all 4 of the ports. But so should just a normal 2 kilowatt or 2 charger work through an RCBO?
And in fact, you said you dialed down the current to 5 amps, which is 1200
First thing I
watts
did,
or
right?
something. So that's interesting.
Mm.
I'd repeat the same experiment in your house. Plug in that same UMC, the same mobile connector, into your house and see if it pops a RCD.
That's a good shout.
There could be a fault with it, or there could be something weird.
I mean, I was using it the whole rest of the time up in Kalbarri, and and so I'm pretty sure that it's okay. But I'll test it again just in case it had developed a fault in that intervening time.
And just in case, by the way, at Geraldton, I'll get to you, Richard, the other Richard, in a sec. There's no problem, mate. Just be a good citizen. That's the second charger. The other one's on the right-hand side. You just got to thread the needle, mate. It's not too hard.
So there were cars either parked or charging, because I think it was when there was a event on there, so everything was chocker. I did actually pull in on the other side and basically nosed in right to the curb. I was blocking both those sides, and the camper trailer was like out, but I was like there. I think I might have even put my high vis
look officious,
road thing that you get from the Tesla pack when you first get it years ago. Maybe looking officious so that no one can, maybe I should have held a clipboard as well. But just so that I could, make sure that, I wasn't, if I am blocking traffic, then people can come round. But it was a pain in the ass because it was just intransigence. It's like, look, I'm prepared to pay you more than what I would pay the WEV network. But it's the combination of, it may be a coincidence, the combination of her insistence that it was banned under all circumstances and the fact that even when I tried, it didn't work, made me think, have they selected a certain type of RCBO that is known to not work? Okay,
no.
So that's nothing to do with it. All right.
So Richard, could I ask a question?
Of course.
Did you try using the camper trailer's external power supply, the 10 amp socket?
Yep.
So it was coming through the caravan?
The start, yes. Yep.
Yep. So you connected the caravan to the 15 amps?
Yep.
And then you connected the UMC to the caravan's external socket?
Correct.
Okay.
And then that didn't work, and I thought, maybe it tried to pull too much current, and that's what tripped it. Even though it was, we had barely anything running through it. And then then I cut that out completely, went straight into that socket, which I knew to be working for everything else. That was no problem. And then tried all 4 of them on that post, and nothing. I didn't try an adjacent post because I just thought, they've presumably done something.
And you connected the mobile connector's tail directly to the PowerPoint? Or did you use an extension cable or something?
Oh, no, directly.
Direct.
I was right. I was trying to be as sneaky as possible, so I got as close as I could.
So for completeness, try the experiment at home to see if you can repeat the result. Otherwise, it's a real curly one, because what you're saying is you used a PowerPoint with your caravan, that was okay.
Yes.
You plug in the UMC into your car, it pops. It would have popped most likely on RCD, so there's an earth leakage. But I don't know why.
All that the car said was no charger power.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, it tripped the RCBO. So
so try and replicate the result at home to see if, look, perhaps out of the blue, the mobile connector has failed. Maybe it could have failed in many ways. It could have either failed as a short circuit or some sort of earth leakage or something. But it's certainly possible. Your car is probably okay. I mean, there could be an issue with the onboard charger for AC charging, but I presume you've been charging at home anyway.
We've been back a couple of months from that, so
right,
pretty much every day. So it's possible it could be the UMC, but I mean,
give it a go. Give it a go at home. See if it trips it at home. And if it does, well, there's your answer. And if it doesn't,
Yeah.
you don't really have an answer, unfortunately. It's one of those, who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, I just thought, particularly with games going round to Australia, it's perhaps good to know that.
Don't worry, we
it's
got
curveball
James
happening.
and Mark and Shirley and
Yeah. Sorry, I heard at the start.
actually, James, can you please do you have an image of that track map, the one that all those projections? Is there any chance of throwing that up on the chat?
Yep, I'll put
Because this
it up
is
now.
oh yeah, perfect. This is going to make for interesting visuals for
Also,
those.
while we're talking, there is another method. If we can plug our charger in to a portable battery bank that allows charging.
Yeah, that kind of isolates the source, the car from the power source, buffers it. But I think, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Just do the experiment, Richard. Let us know. It'll be interesting. It'll be quite satisfying if there's a problem with the mobile connector, in the sense that that explains it. No, so hopefully it'll just remain a mystery. It'll keep working. Yeah.
No, red car's in the garage at the moment, so I can't be bothered.
Exactly. Now, Richard's iPad, you got your hand up.
Yes, thank you very much. I missed the first half hour, so sorry if it's been repeated. Just about to embark on another trip across the Nullarbor, heading from Perth to Melbourne, probably next month or so. Very worried about the state of the charging, not to mention the reliance on some of the roadhouses for diesel. So I just wanted to get some updated information about what's going on there.
Okay, so let me bring up this spreadsheet, which is Southern Cross to Port Augusta. So, because this sort of gives you a bit of an idea. So basically, you got to look at PlugShare, obviously. I haven't looked at the very latest information at Norseman. I know for a while Norseman was putting out very little power, like several kilowatts instead of 100 kilowatts. Just check that. But here are all the distances between all the charger locations. Well, most of them. So you've got, well, this is Kalgoorlie to Norseman. Just imagine you're at Norseman. Then you've got from Norseman to Baladonia is 191 kilometres. As we speak, Baladonia is powered, and I'm just going to check that. However, it's got it's had a reputation of getting nuisance tripping on the circuit breaker. And the problem is the circuit breaker is not remotely resettable. So if it trips, you can't charge there. However, there is a 20 kilowatt Delta DC charger at the Baladonia Roadhouse, for which they charge.
More than happy with that one. I've used it many times before.
Yeah. So $2 a kilowatt hour, blah, blah, get the key, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
You got Kaiguna, that's a pain because it's novel to 30 kilowatts at the moment. Frustrating, very frustrating.
Yeah, but better than nothing.
Too right. You've got Cockle-Bitty 20 kilowatt DC if you need it.
Yeah.
You've then got Majura Pass is a basket case. The Tritium charger is unpowered. I'm pretty sure the Type 2 is powered, so you can get 11 kilowatts, AC only. Then you've got Mundrabilla. My little note here, unreliable and unwelcome, because I hate EVs. They hate what it does to their generator. And one of the PlugShare posts was the gentleman was allowed to charge on DC for 15 minutes at a time, bearing in mind that the ramp up rate's very slow, so it actually takes about 7 minutes to get to full power anyway. And then at the end of 15 minutes, he was instructed to stop charging, go onto the 11 kilowatt AC charger for another 15 minutes, and then rinse and repeat. He was told that if he did not comply with that instruction, they would simply turn the site off. Again, unreliable, unwelcome. Border Village has the NRMA charger, which has either not worked at all, worked at low rate, or sometimes worked at full rate, 80 kilowatts, but it's just a matter of what your luck is on the day. Unfortunately, there are only DC chargers there, although at Border Village, behind in the shed, there is a 32 amp three-phase outlet. Nullarbor Roadhouse, NRMA, unreliable. I think in more recent times it's been mostly okay or often okay. And you got the distances there between the things. Yalata, you got the RAA 30 kilowatt, but let's face it, if you've got a full charge at Nullarbor by some hook or by crook, you can make it. Nullarbor, you can make it all the way to Ceduna. It's only 297 k's to Ceduna. Sorry, forget the Nundrew. This spreadsheet was for a different purpose. There's no charger there. But say from Yalata, if you charge up at Yalata on the 30 kilowatt, which has often worked but not always, it's 205 kilometres to Ceduna from Yalata.
Yeah, I would typically stop at Penong Caravan Park and
Penong's
charge
great
there.
on the AC.
Yeah.
Yep. And then once you hit Penong, you're home and hosed, and you're into let's call it first world charging. So
Yeah, so my concerns are mostly about Mundrabilla. Someone told me that they'd switched off the AC. They'd taken out the power point.
Oh yes, I have. Yes. Yep, the three-phase is no longer working. That was disconnected basically the day they commissioned the WAV network DC charger. So that's not working. The only thing you could charge there if you're overnighting at... Look, if you're overnighting at Mundrabilla, you can just charge on the Type 2 at the WAV network charger, which is 11 kilowatts, which is fine.
Yeah.
Actually,
okay.
Richard, have you got a Model X?
No, Model Y.
Oh, Model Y. Okay, sorry, yeah.
Standard
So
range.
that's fine. So that you can just, if you're overnighting at Mundrabilla, there should be no problem because you can charge on the Type 2 with basically guaranteed that in fact, if you were overnighting, I would highly recommend you just charge on the Type 2 so you don't upset their generator and you don't upset the managers or one of the managers, and everything's sweet and you'll be fully charged in less than 5 hours anyway. If worst came to worst and you were overnighting at Mundrabilla and you were short on range or charge, just chuck it on a 10 or 15 amp socket, at the caravan park section, and that will add overnight at least 100 k's. And in fact, Border Village is Border Village is 161 kilometres from Mundrabilla. So even if you, by some weird reason, ended up almost empty at Mundrabilla, it's still only 161 k's to Border Village, for which there is three-phase, and also the NRMA charger, which will probably work. And even if you had to charge at 10 or 15 amps overnight, you'd basically recover a fair slice of that range anyway overnight, even if you turned up to Mundrabilla empty, which you won't.
Okay. Yeah. So my plan B was to, instead of booking accommodation where you're sort of locked into dates, and get stuck at a particular station because it's down or there's some sort of catastrophic problem, I was thinking of driving across with one of those inflatable mattresses in the back, sleep in the car and use the caravan park solely, and that means I wouldn't be tethered to particular bookings at accommodation. But I don't know if I'm going too far to compensate.
I like your approach. So given, and I know it's anyone that says it's great to sleep in the car is at leave of their at leave of their senses. And I've slept in the car a few times. What you should do is plan for the worst and hope for the best. So what you can do is presume you're going to have to sleep in your car, or not necessarily book anything. See how you go. Basically, once you've effectively fully charged somewhere or nearly fully charged somewhere, you know you're going to make another 300 Ks or whatever it is, right? So you get to say whatever your day goes, you were thinking of getting to Mundrabilla. Well, if you've gotten to say Kaiguna and you've got a full charge or something, and you know that you're going to arrive with that full charge at Mundrabilla at a reasonable time, then what you do is, as your charge is progressing and it's all looking good, then you ring Mundrabilla and go, hey, have you got a motel room? And if they say yes, you say, I'll take it. And if they say no, you say, well, bugger, I'll have to sleep in my car. So my experience, there's certain legs where I can now get used to, I'm good at a certain cadence and I can pre-book stuff because I just know stuff will mostly work. Although I did get bitten once when a DC charger didn't work in Carnarvon. So rather than overnighting at Nanyatara, I had to overnight in Carnarvon. Even though I was in Carnarvon at 5 p.m, I knew it would take another 5 hours to fully charge on AC. And then I'd have to drive another 347 Ks to Nanyatara after 10 p.m, which meant I was better off just having early dinner, booking to the Carnarvon motel, try to get to sleep earlier, and then wake up at pre-Sparrows and just, resume my journey. So I think your approach is, sadly, the best way to avoid sunk costs of not being able to cancel a room you've already paid for in the hope that you're going to get there, or what should be the knowledge that you would get there if everything worked. Just take it casually. Accept that you might sleep in your car once or twice. But again, plan for the worst, i.e. sleep in your car, hope for the best. And like I said, once you get a successful charging session started or going, then you pretty much know how the rest of that day is going to go. Then you might be able to just go, hey, have you got a spot? If they do, they do. If not, too bad.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing. I've got the complication of having a dog on board, probably manageable. But if we've got accommodation, it's because my wife and I will be traveling together. My thinking about traveling and sleeping in the back of the car would have been on the basis that I fly her over to Melbourne.
Gotcha.
And then travel on my own. So anyway, look, there's lots of
Richard, that is so annoying. This gets to the crux of, us EV owners, and sorry, anyone watching this or anyone in the room, please understand, if you live in Perth and you travel between here and Geraldton, here in the southwest, none of this applies to anyone doing this. EVs are absolutely, without doubt, awesome. And all of the charging network in the lower southwest and even in the, up to Geraldton and even a little bit beyond is perfectly okay. Please don't think that this is a criticism of EVs or EVs aren't right. We're talking going across the Nullarbor. But sadly, Richard, you're highlighting the fact that as an EV driver, you've got to make a mental decision of, do my wife and I and the dog take what ought to be routine and eminently plannable? You then have to make up your mind that there's a distinct risk that the plan might not quite work out, and then you're better off, rather than driving your wife for free, because let's face it, a room costs the same if there's one person in the bed or two.
Yep.
And the energy cost is there's no difference to weight really. Or do you have to pay $600, $700, $800, $900 for a return flight just to avoid the indignity of being delayed and having to sleep in a car? It's appalling.
Yep, it's a bit of a juggle. So how does the existing and ongoing fuel shortage impact those road houses in terms of their developments, their ability to charge?
So there's no evidence that any roadhouse whose generators supply charging are indicating they're going to say, oh, look, we better start turning off non-essential loads such as EV chargers. Zero evidence of that. Roadhouses do go through a lot of diesel in a 24-hour period. They go through hundreds of litres. However, for the vehicles that transit the roadhouses, they go through thousands of litres. So, and of course, you can't pump petrol or diesel without electricity, which requires the burning of some petrol or diesel. Diesel. So, and make no mistake, as inept as politicians often are, there has been a little bit of thought to prioritise roadhouses and things like that. So, no, I don't think that's the biggest issue, to be honest. You're not going to get a roadhouse that turns stuff off because they're short on diesel, because there's always a lot of diesel and they'll always reserve their own supplies for themselves, because without diesel, they can't even pump the other diesel, if you know what I mean. Like,
yep.
And the thing too is roadhouses, well, they do function essentially as energy sources, but they also provide food, accommodation, blah, blah. So they will obviously prioritise themselves. This crisis would have to go a lot further, well, perhaps not that much further, but, you know, somewhat further before they start turning off a lowly EV charger. And in fact, look, you'd only burn, to get a full charge on your car, I can't remember, you'd only be burning 20 litres of diesel for a full charge. It's much less than if you were a diesel car and had to fill up. You use about a third as much fossil fuel to recharge your car as you would if you had a fossil fueled car.
I think John Deerwood's biofuel, when it's running on diesel, is about 10 litres for a charge, something like that. You know, the one at Kaiguna,
yeah,
operating that.
Yeah, I'm not quite. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Let's look. If it's 10 or 20,
it's not huge.
Yeah, it's certainly much less than the equivalent of a vehicle. Yeah. So if you said, well, if they let you charge your EV, you say, well, I mean, what you know, in the extreme, Richard, you could say, I'll just buy 20 litres of diesel, and then you can put it in your tank for your generator.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
You know what I mean? So if it got to that ridiculous sort of standoff, Mexican standoff, you go, all right, would you sell me 20 litres of diesel? Well, yes, we would. Okay, so I'll buy 20 litres of diesel, gift it to you to put into your generator.
Yeah, I mean, that's the logical way of looking at it, but sometimes people are a little bit funny about how they approach charging of EV.
So then what you do, I mean, it's so frustrating that like Kaiguna's got low power levels, Majura Pass has got almost no power level, Munjabilla's got variable level. The technique you use is generally you have to use is fully charge your car at each stop, like top it up to the top at each stop. Normally do the opposite. You normally top it up at the bottom, but because you don't know what's going to be reliable or working, just keep it close to 100% at each stop. Which means you're going to waste a bit of time at Kaiguna fully filling up to recover the 181 Ks between Balladonia and Kaiguna at 30 kilowatts. It's going to take you time, but at least it guarantees you a full charge. Yeah, it's and then to get to Mundrabilla, it's 272 Ks from Mundrabilla. So if you got a full charge at Kaiguna, you know you're going to make it to Mundrabilla anyway. And at worst, you can just charge on the 10 amps as a caravan, or 15.
Yeah, I would typically stop at Majura Pass and use either the Delta when it was around, or the
Actually, Majura Pass, yeah. So Majura Pass still have the 3-phase. The problem is, as you know, it's got that scissor door, sectional door.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they say, "Oh no, you can't have a cable coming out because the door will cut the cable," or this and that. They'll have all these excuses. So At Majura Pass, I'm not even sure if the AC is working. Actually, no, Majura Pass is black. Nothing's working. That's right. So you have to either use the 3-phase during daytime hours before their policy is 5 p.m. They get grumpy if you're using it after 5 p.m. local time, bearing in mind that's 45 minutes ahead of Perth. So it's getting worse for you in the daytime, if you know what I mean. You get less day.
Yep.
But you can always use their, caravan socket. Single phase, 15 amp.
Yep.
And like I said, it's only 161 k's to Border Village from Majura Pass. Sorry, Majura Pass, it's 116 k's to Mundrabilla.
Yep.
Or it's 277 k's to Border Village from Majura Pass.
Also, just bear in mind that Cockabiddy has said that he won't allow EV charging if it's above 30 degrees C.
What?
Yeah. It was 26 degrees when we were there, and after a bit of discussion showing how it worked, we're okay. And you've got to talk to the road managers, unfortunately. But that, you have to work with them and talk to them and make sure that they understand that it's not going to be an issue.
So Cockabiddy is a 20 kilowatt delta, but
Correct.
You don't need Cockabiddy. If you fully charge at Kaiguna, it's 156 k's to Majura Pass.
Yeah, as long as you can get those, I'm just suggesting that if you're planning on stopping Cockabiddy, that could be an issue if it's above 30 degrees centigrade, if it's the same manager on.
But it makes perfect sense if it's 30 kilowatts beats 20 every day. If you can charge it, presume you can charge at Kaiguna, just charge enough at Kaiguna to get to Mundrabilla, basically. Because Mundrabilla is relatively reliable on the AC charger for an overnight charge. Now, on a standard range car, to go from Kaiguna to Border Village, that's a bit too far. That's 433 k's. You're not going to make that unless you go quite slowly.
I wouldn't even attempt it.
Quite slowly. So,
no.
Unfortunately, Richard, you've got a lot of... unfortunately, these days, sadly to say, as back in the olden days, flexibility is your best asset. I dare say you might just stick your wife on a plane, at least on the way out. Just book a one-way ticket, because they cost the same. You don't get a discount on a return flight. They're all just one-way tickets. Get a one-way ticket, perhaps. See how you go. But of course, that doesn't guarantee you're going to get the same experience on the way back either. But at least you'll be more experienced. And
this is going to be pretty much a one-way trip. We're moving back to Melbourne. We've been here for 15 months.
Oh, okay. So. Sorry. Okay. Well, in that case, you're probably you're in a hiding to nothing. If you say, "Why don't you come with me?" and if it goes to custard, it's all your fault and it was terrible. If you stick her on the plane and it went really well, well, you've done yourself in on a few $100. But hey, happy wife.
Yeah, look, I'm happy to sacrifice a few dollars just for a bit of certainty as to what to expect. So yeah, I might have to check in on this forum in a few weeks once I know. Closer to the time when we're going. But I'm considering, in anticipation of potentially sleeping in the back of the car, I don't actually have one of those blow-up mattresses. Are there any recommendations or suggestions as to which brands to avoid or what to get? I've looked at the Tessera's, I've looked at the Tesla one, which seems a bit expensive for what it is. There's a few of them around. X-Car does one with a little thing that hangs over the back of the front seats.
I wouldn't bother with them. Are you frequently going to be camping in your Tesla, or is this a one-time trip?
Yeah, pretty much a one-off.
Go to Kmart, buy a king single, any inflatable mattress. The king singles fit perfectly.
Okay. And what about where your head goes between the seats?
Put something there. Yeah. we have a board.
A carton of beer. Yeah.
What two? Yep. Perfect.
I'd also we made a video that we recorded in Tasmania about our ABC presentation. I would recommend having a look at that. The always bring cables, always browse the comments. And the last one, and I would highly recommend you take your wife with you, is always bring cheese and crackers and a Chardonnay. And so just enjoy it. Like,
yeah, but Shane, it's not but mate, it's not enjoyable being in the end of the earth.
Oh, it can be, Harold. It can be.
Not when you've got a booking 5 hours away and you go, this charge would only take 45 minutes and now it's going to take 6 hours. That's not enjoyable. That's uncool.
I'm with you on the don't book ahead business at the moment. It's probably not going to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah.
and you know, various spouses. I mean, you've got a very special spouse, Shane.
Understanding.
Very understanding, and who herself is an EV enthusiast and who has done the trip, the not easy way, and is more understanding. But I fully understand. Most people go, it's just a car, and it just needs to get from A to B, and I don't need to sit amongst the flies and the 38-degree heat and all that sort of stuff just because some stupid technology is not working today, or some manager's grumpy, or whatever, all of above, or 3 charging spots in a row are not working properly. It wears very quickly, and rightly. I mean, we should be more discerning and more demanding. We're not even demanding anything. We just want what people get in petrol cars. They turn up somewhere and they get the stuff they want, and then they go elsewhere.
Will people be raising faults with Horizon then for every time that the chargers are failing to deliver?
Yeah, there have been some faults raised. You know, even Norseman wasn't working courtesy of a certain JetCharge core product, which wasn't working properly, it probably has worked less. It has probably worked less than it has not worked in all the hours that it's ever been run at all the different sites for Horizon Power. It's just a...
Richard, and on your trip, you asked about the headboard. I've just put into the chat a sheet of MDF from Bunnings for $14.45.
Oh yeah, yep.
600 by 900 is the right size. It fits flat on your boot, so it's out of the way. But when you want to sleep at night, you just spin it around, stick it out onto the from the chair. It goes down the headrest to the middle console. Put your front chairs forward, and that bit of MDF just sits very nicely.
Excellent, thank you.
And so that takes up zero space. Costs $15.
Yep.
And
a king single mattress, you reckon? King
single mattress fits from almost perfectly side to side.
Okay. Great tip. Thank you.
Our plan is we're going to full charge at Kaiguna, then stop at an evening stop at Cocklebiddy, have dinner, and just top up at Cocklebiddy. Don't need to, but that gives you the extra current. Drive to Mildura Pass, sleep overnight, and then drive straight past Mundrabilla to Border Village, and having Mundrabilla as an emergency if we didn't quite get enough overnight.
Okay. Yep.
Sounds like a plan. When are you leaving, Richard? You're leaving in a few weeks.
Yeah. Look, I don't know, but it's probably between 4 and 6 weeks, I'd say. Maybe up to 2 months. Busy work here.
Yeah, cool. Things do change.
To
that end, something that James put up some time ago is this. So I forget the cyclone's name. It used to be called 3034U. That was a low pressure system. But there's a cyclone that's bearing down on Queensland, and it's likely to do a triple crossing, which is cross the East Queensland coast, go in the Gulf of Carpentaria, re-intensify, cross the east coast of the Northern Territory, cross over through the landmass, whether it briefly turns into a rain-bearing depression, go back onto the sea or ocean sea and Timor Sea, and then re-intensify to a cyclone, which may do any one of these tours of WA.
And it has the most Australian name you could imagine. Narelle.
Narelle. Oh, Narelle. So Narelle could do an Albie, could reprise an Albie, some 48 years later, after Cyclone Albie went past Albany, I think it was, or whatever, went right round, did a tour of WA. So anything can happen. So for Mark and you, James, Mark and Cheryl, who are leaving tomorrow, very early for a planned lap, and you, James, look, at stranger things could happen. It might just work out, or it might not, unfortunately.
Plan A and Plan B.
And C and D.
Yeah. The first one is whether we turn left on the freeway or right on the freeway as we first leave home.
Oh no! No, you turn right. You go east, young man.
Yeah.
Don't go west. Don't believe those pet shop boys. Go east. Because at least east. Because what's very plausible is, unfortunately, Katherine looks like it's already saturated. It hadn't been flooded with a worst in 30-year flood or 25-year flood. Look, they may get a 100-year flood because it's just going to dump so much rain, and Catherine's right about here. It's right in the centre of the track, so it's going to get a ton of rain. But then, of course, going down the Stuart Highway, that's going to get a lot of flooding, and even the Barkly will probably get, Barkly Highway going across this way to Townsville will probably get a lot of flooding as well. So,
last time we crossed, we took 60 litres of cooking oil to Kaiguna. Maybe we'll take 60 litres of diesel with us this time to bribe our way across the charges.
You can go, you know what? I've already got the diesel here.
Yeah.
Pour it in your receptacle, and you can even have some of the change.
Just fill the front cup. Just go to the servo, fill the front cup. It's got a seal on it.
That would make a great YouTube video, I've got to say. You're going to get clicks, that's for sure. You're probably better if you just did it with AI these days, with Grok Imagine or something. But wow, that'd be a sight.
Just especially with servo. Here you go. Who wants some diesel?
Exactly. Alrighty. So we're at nearly the 2-hour mark, which is our traditional bedtime. We got any closing-ish questions or comments?
On a different topic, Powerwall 3 to Powerwall 2 software patch to give compatibility. What's happening with that?
It's coming soon, as Tesla said.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. It has been 2 weeks.
No, it's always 2 weeks. It's like fusion power is 20 years away. Yeah, it's coming. Look, the good thing is they did confirm that there would be a compatibility arrangement, so you could have a hybrid arrangement of Powerwall 2 and 3, which is good. But yeah, it's a Tesla timeline, Steve. As is a 3-phase Powerwall.
Been announced.
Again, yes, it's been re-announced. Yes.
And soon to Germany.
Yes, that's right. And I was told it was coming soon when I was in Hawthorne in near LA back in 2019. But it was officially said on Tesla's EU, I think it was, X handle. So it's official that it's coming.
Is there any time arrival for the Model YL in Perth?
Yes, Oh, you mean the showroom one?
Yeah.
Oh, in the next couple of weeks. Next couple of weeks.
2 weeks
2
again.
weeks.
2 weeks.
I didn't mean. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 2 weeks. So obviously,
truck.
it's all about. It's very plausible that it's on a truck from the eastern states, unless they have a tiny shipment on a regular shipment. Like, I think in the past, all of these demo cars have mostly come from the eastern states via truck. So the Cybertruck did that, and I think other things have done it as well. So unfortunately, we often miss out for the first bit because it just takes longer to get stuff to us by truck. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And obviously it goes without saying there will be at least one in O'Connor and at Osborne Park. So you won't have to drive to just one of those showrooms. It'll absolutely be in both showrooms.
It might come just before the Osborne Park Supercharger's up and running too. Maybe by a week or two. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, that's being progressed as well. So, but yeah, within the next couple of weeks. Look, it might be sooner. It might be in the next few days. Who knows? Suffice to say, Tesla will undoubtedly. Well, we as a club will definitely put it out on our X handle, but I think Tesla AUNZ would also announce the arrival of their Model Y L as soon as it does arrive.
Harold, one quick last comment. This news is a couple of weeks old, but still very relevant. So I see cars, which is similar to car sales in Australia. These guys are in the US, so they analysed, 1.5 million cars or something, used car sales. And so these numbers are since the EV tax credit ended in the US in September last year. And since then, Tesla second-hand prices have gone up 4.3%, while virtually every other EV brand has gone down 3.6%.
Yep.
So, and internal combustion engine cars went down 2%. So, yeah, pretty much everything's gone down as far as second-hand prices are concerned, except Teslas, which are up 4.3%.
Remember the COVID effect because of supply shortages of new cars, people were paying, this is on, for diesel cars, they were paying in some cases more for a not very new diesel car, the same price as the new price or more, just to get it. Like, I think some of the Land Cruisers and other things, patrols and whatever, because of the COVID effect of supply chain and blah, blah, blah. So, no, that's good to see.
I doubled my money on a cruiser that had done 800,000 Ks.
What, you got $50 for it?
No, we're talking a fair bit more than that. A fair bit more than that. I doubled my money in 2021, 22.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to qualify that, the main reason why Tesla prices went up is because the S and the X. So the X was up over 10%. The Model S was up about 8.5%. Obviously, because those two cars but even the Model Y was up, 1.3%, and the Model 3 was up 2.6%. But, like the Hyundai Kona was down 6.4%. The VW ID4 was down over 6%. Kia was down. Kia Niro was down over 5%. Ford Mustang was down over 5%. Nissan Leaf was down almost 5%. Polestar was down 2%.
Well, Nissan Leaf would be fully depreciated these days, but anywho. Alrighty. Yeah, I mean, look, and Tesla, there is also a thing about FSD, there's that sort of influence as well. So, yeah, no, it's good. I mean, it's good to see. It makes sense. All right. Any other last minute questions or comments before we wrap this awesome show up? No, I think we're all good. All right. So, Pete, how would you round out an awesome show like this as if I didn't already know?
As always, stay safe, stay sustainable, and stay ahead of the curve.
And the best way to do that is buy a Tesla, join TOCWA, and ask us anything about accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy and abundance. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and I really do look forward to seeing you on next week's episode of TOCWA's Ask Us Anything. Good night, everyone.
Not all.
Bye, guys.